interesting idea,
No, that
friend.
would not be the intro. I would not do that to you, friend. I have standards, even for myself.
Oh, damn. Welcome back to Booze Calls.
So that's going to be the intro. That's
Yeah, I
wild
guess.
choice. Oh, and it's off. Listen, look at that.
Look at that. Do you, everything we... What's the Paul Rudd thing? Hot Ones? When Paul Rudd is like, did you ever think we'll get here? Not me. Sean Evans. Moving on. Welcome back to Booze Calls.
Can't help you there, friend. What's up, listeners?
It's okay. Podcast, musicals, drinking.
Correct.
This is going to be a fun one today because, you know what? Let's just start off with our segment.
Yes.
Prancing Plastic.
Hell
Our
yeah.
term of the day is... Suite. Suite is an ordered kind of collection of instrumental movements, very much rooted in the Baroque dance forms, which or later operas, ballets, and incidental music popularized in the 17th to 18th century. They often share a key, have different tempos and characteristics. It started off, I think, at first just two movements, but then later on in years, anywhere between 3 to 5. And that's going to relate to our musical we're doing today. Our next film in the BCU, the Barbie Cinematic Universe, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Amazing. I love it. I love these movies. I have a fun time every time.
I definitely think this is the worst one we've seen so far, but I did enjoy myself.
Interesting. In what respect?
I think Barbie and the Diamond Castle and Barbie and the Princess Pauper are just better
than
this.
This? In all respects. Even the animated animals?
I had a tough time with...
Okay, no, the parent, cut him out of this. Listen, let's not talk about him. But the cat.
The cat was fine. Twyla was fine. Even when did a little dance. At least the cat didn't crump. So yeah,
that's right. No, I will clarify. I do like Diamond Castle just generally more than this. I do think there are specific elements that I think are better than some of the other movies. The animated animals being one of them.
Yeah. The drink we're drinking today, though, there's so many different Barbie pink inspired cocktails. And I found this one that this one hotel created. And it's called a Pink Dream. And I'm very excited to have it because it's a really lovely pink color. It has Saint Germain's elderflower liqueur. It has Empress 1908 gin, specifically the indigo one, because it has what's it called, butterfly pea blossom in it, so that's indigo, but when you add acidity to it, it turns pink, just cool. As the tea flower. And so then we have some lime juice in it. It has a blueberry and bay leaf simple syrup.
I'm so excited for the syrup.
Which it smells weird.
It
just
on its
so
own. Good. It's so fragrant.
It's so funny. All the memes are bay leaf doesn't taste like anything.
Oh my gosh.
I dare you to make a tea with just bay leaves and tell me that's true.
Yeah.
And then what else on that is this? Soda water? Did I miss just
the soda water.
Yeah.
You mentioned the lime juice, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it turned it pink.
Yeah.
Cheers. Pink Dream.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
It's very light and
floral.
It's floral, but in a way that's, at least for
palatable.
Mine, it's not you're aware that it's floral, but it doesn't hit you in the face with its floralness, And it's just kind of there in the background.
Good amount of gin in it, an ounce and a half. And it's not that big of a drink. And I definitely taste the botanicals from the gin. But it's not you're drinking gin, you're drinking alcohol. Just you're drinking alcohol.
It's very, very
kind of
smooth.
What, do you remember Campbell's fuck up juice in college?
I remember the name, but not what it actually was.
It's nothing good. 50-50 ratios. Absolute Mandarin vodka and NOS energy drink. I don't drink caffeine ever.
Dear God.
But it was awful, but like you taste vodka, but you don't taste alcohol. And that's how it tasted.
Interesting.
It just like canceled each other's out. They're like two negatives.
Taste that.
It was.
We led interesting and unhealthy lives in college, and we're just going to leave it there.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was risk management because I could just drink more than people.
Okay.
But I do really like this drink.
Oh yeah, no, it tastes fantastic.
Cheers,
Thank you for choosing this one. Cheers.
Yeah. So, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, it's a 2006 animated dance film. It premiered on Nickelodeon on September 10th, 2006, and then later released on DVD. Directed by Greg Richardson, and it loosely based on the German fairy tale 12 Dancing Princesses, or the worn out dancing shoes, or the shoes that were danced to pieces. Which is a German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm and published in Grimm's Fairy Tales in 1815. It is the 9th entry in the BCU. And of course, it has Kelly Sheridan, the Barbie protagonist. I'll go into the cast before we get into talking about it. But this is also the first Barbie film to be distributed by Universal Studios Home Entertainment in North America. And it's 12 is a lot. I really appreciate the Wikipedia and the wiki for like really describing these characters. But the film's ballet scenes feature the movement of New York City ballet dancers, animated through motion capture, which is just sick as hell. And like, I just think, Barbie, we're talking about the toy merchandise wise, they had like dolls, play sets, and accessories. So each of the 12 princess characters and Derek were released in a Magic Dance Castle dollhouse. And then cool. Like a vanity for the 12 dolls, a horse and carriage set that could seat all the 12 dolls, and some Twyla the cat plush dolls. There were also video games released by Activision, kind of tying with this film, on Game Boy Advance, Microsoft Windows, Nintendo DS, and PlayStation 2.
Nice. 12 is a lot. I did remark at the sheer number of children this man has, which, like, we're just going to get into it. So,
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, and then I'll go through the cast. Pretty much all of these people have been in My Little Pony, or other
that's
Barbie
always the
things,
case. There's so many My Little Pony,
Care Bears, or Strawberry Shortcake, or Lego stuff. But first we have Genevieve, who is Barbie, played by Kelly Sheridan, who's been in all these as Barbie in all these other roles, My Little Pony, but also Sango and Inuyasha. There's also such a so Kelly Sheridan playing Genevieve / Barbie. Rowena is voiced by Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, Best in Show, Nightmare Before Christmas. Ashlyn and Twyla are voiced by Nicole Oliver, who's also been in other Barbie films, My Little Pony, Card Captors, Card Captor Sakura. Blair is played by Jennifer Copping, who's been in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Devil in Ohio, Fargo. Lilania Lindbergh plays Courtney, who's been in Sabrina the Animated Series, Doc Cat // Roots. I don't know how to say that. It's an anime. But she's also Bulma in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which is sick as hell. Kathleen Barr plays Delia, who's been in Reboot, Dragon Tales as Wheezy, and other Barbie movies. Chiara Zani plays Edline?
That sounds right.
X-Men Evolution, Good Luck Chuck, World Trigger. Adrian Carter plays Fallon, who's also been in Skate, My Little Pony, Care Bears Adventures, and Care-a-Lot. Which is funny because I never realized it's like Camelot but Care-a-Lot because they're Care Bears. So fun. Ashley Ball plays Hadley and Isla, who's been in My Little Pony, Sonic Prime, The Hollow, Bratz. Competing. Britt McKillop plays Janessa, who's been in Strawberry Shortcake, Baby Looney Tunes, Sabrina's Secret Life. Maddie Kaposi plays Kathleen, been in Jeremiah, and Prozac Nation. Chantal Strand plays Lacey, who's been in Dinosaur Train, Mobile Suit Gundam, Sabrina the Animated Series. A lot of them have been in a lot of different like animated Sabrina things, which is fun. Sean McDonald plays Derek, who's been in Mr. Magoo, Up and Away, which is an incredible Disney Channel original movie. It's about the superhero family, and their weakness is not kryptonite but tinfoil. And like one of the kids like doesn't have superpowers but finds out I think he has all of them or something. I don't really remember. I get that mixed up with Sky High.
I love
but
Sky
also
High.
Grave Encounters. Christopher Gaze plays King Randolph, who's been in The New Adventures of Madeline. I think he's the narrator, Spider-Man Unlimited, and Cool Runnings, which is just fun. Gary Chalk plays Desmond, who's been in a lot of Transformers-related things as Optimus Prime, Riverdale, Sonic Underground, and I think he's Robotnik in Sonic Underground. I don't remember. I didn't write that down. Peter Kelamis plays Brutus, and I think it's so funny in the credits, like on IMDb, it'll say Century Number 4. And they also have Century Number 1 and Number 2, but not Number 3. And I think that's fun. But he's been in Beyond, Ed, and Eddie. But he's also in like the Ocean Group dubbing, but Goku in Dragon Ball Z. And that's awesome. Gabe Kuth plays Felix, who's been in Mobile Suit Gundam, Once Upon a Time. And he's also Goten in Dragon Ball Z. Raven, that's Goku's second son.
Okay. Thank you, because I did not know.
Because this is important. And Gohan's the older son and my favorite character, which is a hot take because people do not like him.
Noted. Neither do I.
You don't like Gohan?
Nope.
But he's the strongest.
I hate him. He can kick rocks, and you can.
But
get
he's
that
the
straight from the
strongest, and he just
source.
wants to be a scholar.
Sounds like a nerd.
He is with glasses, but he's better than. Oh. Now you made me sad. Mark Oliver plays the Royal Butler, Fabian, Century Number 1, and Guard Number 1. He's been in Max Steel, Pocket Dragon Adventures, and League of Legends, like the game. I believe he's Thresh in League of Legends, but it's been a long time since I've played LOL. I'm not good at it. David Kay plays the Royal Doctor in Century Number 2, and he's been in Shaolin Showdown, so many different Transformers animated series, a bunch of different characters. I think he is Megatron sometimes, and in a bunch of the Ben 10 series. And then we have Jonathan Holmes, who plays the Ambassador, who's been in The Dragon Prince, the BFG, like the most recent movie adaptation. I don't know if there's been other adaptations, actually, when I say that, the Roald Dahl novel, and Anne with an E.
Ooh, I liked that show.
You would.
Shut up.
It gives Horse Girl slash what's the phrase? A hop, skip, jump away from Quaker vibes. That's you.
That's me. That's my energy.
That's you.
Honestly, I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, there's overlap.
There for sure.
Bonnets.
Listen, I do genuinely want a bonnet. I just feel like they're cool. I like them. Plus, it's just a European head wrap. Like,
You don't have to convince me.
So we open up on the credits playing over the Bi Pride flag as like we see like see like silhouettes of like these like Barbie ballerinas dancing across the screen, and we hear the 12 Dancing Princesses theme song, which is actually a riff off something else, which I'll talk about in our composer's corner.
Oh, that's so fun, because that's going to relate to what I'm going to talk about in our little music segment.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So we hear an emissary who's like in the king's we're inside the throne room in a castle. We hear this emissary like reading an announcement that they've
Jonathan Holmes.
Sure. I listen, those names fly right in one ear and out the other.
And I'm sorry, I forgot one of the characters. I skipped her because she is awesome. But Rowena, the Duchess. Do you know who she's played by?
So camp. I love her. Who's she played by?
Catherine O'Hara.
Yo!
Yeah, Night Before Christmas, Schitt's Creek, Best in Show, SCTV.
I see that. I really see that, actually. The baby. I love that.
Yeah, Sally and which of the trick-or-treaters? Shock? For Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh,
The witch.
I don't know. Okay.
Is she Shock because like the frazzled hair? Because I think she was electrocuted to death.
That makes sense. That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, her hair being like that in death because she was electrocuted to death.
Children dying is
It's a
funny
kid's
to
cartoon.
you?
Campbell. Yes, it is. So, they received this like invitation inviting princesses to a ball, but then like upon seeing 7 of the king's 12 daughters, which like it didn't dawn on me at first. It took me far too long to realize that these princesses were the 12 princesses.
You thought they were going to go to a ball and the
And
princesses, there's going to be like 12
princesses.
suitors or like something like that.
Yeah. And then I saw these 7 girls and I was like, oh, okay. So like we have he has 7 daughters. 2 of them are going to go to the ball, whatever. No, this man has 12 daughters. So at this point we see the 3 youngest who are a triplet. And they're like enamored by this beetle. The 2 oldest, who are like a year or something apart, and they're playing cricket
I'll get into it.
in the house. And then the 2 middle twins are just like walking around on stilts having a grand old time.
Those aren't even the 2 oldest croqueting.
Oh, that's fair.
I was trying my darndest
to track who each one was. I did have... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did have the thought at some point that, like, I wonder if the screenwriter, or, like, someone saw Ariel, Little Mermaid 3, Ariel's beginning, while writing this movie, and was like, I want to do that, but more. So, the emissary, played by Jonathan Holmes.
Ambassador.
Sure, shakes his head, and he just, like...
SMH.
Yeah, he's like, these
My
are
face win.
princesses, more like wild animals, am I right? It's just literally the line that he says. And the king is like kind of sad, and he's like, damn, I do got some shit-ass daughters. I really need to like get these girls in line. And so all the girls gather for a meal, and this is the moment that I realized, oh, his daughters are the 12 princesses.
They are so rude.
I wouldn't say that they're rude, but they are unrefined, which is also wild because I think like
they don't finish a meal with their father, their widowed father, who loves them dearly.
Fair.
So they can get new shoes?
They wanted to go hang out. Well, you know, women be shopping, Campbell. A real note that I wrote down.
Which tracks with the ongoing theme of this podcast. Raven hates women.
And indeed, I do. Because they all insist on calling this man Papa, and it's too much. Like, there's a
Yentl reference later.
I have no problem with the fact that they call him Papa. It's the fact that every single one of them in succession as they come in the room says, good morning, Papa. How are you doing, Papa? And I'm like, this is too many Papas in a row. I need us to wrap it up.
This is feudal Barbieland. I think
Barbieland is crazy, but that's so true. So, yeah, he's like, y'all could do a better job of being a proper princess, especially Genevieve, who comes in late. But yeah, so the royal cobbler shows up, and they do leave their food immediately, and are just like, bye, bitch.
Well, the food doesn't look good.
But they're also, like, supposedly these, like, super fancy dancing shoes, and apparently dancing is their one true joy in the world. So,
they have so many other hobbies, though.
They have lots of hobbies, but dancing is the thing they got from their mother.
Danced, and
yes.
it's like really
They have a lot of cute traditions that they get from their mom. I think genuinely that was one of the reasons why I liked this film that's crazy. Why I liked this movie.
I was literally about to say.
I think that's one of the reasons that I did like this movie, because like having 12 daughters is a lot. I appreciated that outside of the twins, they did at least give them different face models. Like they all looked different in the face, because
they're fraternal twins and triplets.
Well, no, but like all the sisters, like they didn't just use the same model and like
they
have
only
all
use the same model for like that, like actual toys, and then they just like adjusted things there.
And that
also,
makes sense.
What do you think happened after Genevieve was born? Do you think they went through a rough patch? Because that they were like...
Genevieve's like Genevieve's like 16 and the other girls are like 13. I think either someone, the king's fertility slowed down a little bit, or they, there was something else I was going to say. Or they found like an actual effective method of contraception for a while. They were like, let's put a pause on this.
Listeners,
There's 2 babies
this
a year.
is how much I love and like want to put in work for you all. As I say, when I did the least amount of work for this episode, both for the drink and the music at the end. But I did think about like writing down the hair and eye colors, and I was like, is he the dad of all these kids? Does that track?
Like doing Punnett squares?
Yeah.
I mean, but genetics can be unpredictable.
Yeah, but like, some things can't happen.
Never say can't.
I did, and that's true, though. So listeners, if you would like to do biology homework for us about the genealogy of this family, you can send those results to our Gmail, boozicles@gmail.com. That's boocicals@gmail.com, or DM us at boozicles on Instagram.
And indeed, we hope you do.
Oh my god, if someone actually did that, I would...
Truly, I would want to be best friends with that person.
And they would have to be on the next Barbie episode.
Absolutely. That's the prize, listeners, if you do it. So the cobbler's name is Derek. Terrible name. But so Derek and Genevieve are kind of giving each other eyes when the other isn't looking, but he thinks he doesn't have a shot because she's a princess. Also, his parrot talks to him and is apparently Indian. Don't know why that was a necessary detail, but it is there. So then the princesses are all like dancing around, like, we need music. And then he starts playing Our Greers by John Playford, which is like fun and bouncy, little like medieval sort of tune. Great for dancing. And during this scene, we see like the king is kind of off in the castle. He's like looking over where the girls are like dancing in the pavilion. So we see the king is grieving his like late wife. He's standing next to her like picture. She has a large portrait hanging up and like saying like, oh, I wish you were here because I just don't understand my daughters. I have all these women in my house and I can't be bothered to get to know a single one of them. And all the princesses are like chatting before bed, and the older ones are like teasing Genevieve about her obvious crush on Derek.
Some kingdom, they all have to share a bedroom.
I thought that was like crazy, yes, but like I think someone saw Little Mermaid 3 Ariel's beginning. It was just like that, but more. Oh,
did we also talk about their dancing? What song was played when Derek was whipping out the pipe?
I gave the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to talk about it more?
Sorry, you talked about it while I was Googling things, and I completely ignored everything you said.
That is
There's nothing else I have to say about it. But it did remind me of like a computer game when I was like watching that scene. Like a CD-ROM game.
Because the animation?
All of it.
Oh, that's... I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Smell what I'm stepping in?
Indeed.
See what I'm saying?
So... We got to the next day, and we see this like very imposing woman, at least the way she's framed, named Duchess Rowena, arrives in a janky carriage. It is literally falling apart, but she is
the
still
best
serving.
Fit out of everyone else.
Oh my
in this
gosh,
movie.
she's serving the whole movie.
I'd wear that.
She has a monkey. What was the monkey's name?
Brutus.
Oh, that's a good name for the monkey.
Hated his voice.
Oh, absolutely. He was the most annoying character. That's including the racist parrot. But yeah, so Brutus is like messing with her footman named Desmond, who is just struggling. And she goes in.
Horrible lip filler.
Listen, all of his proportions were like, babe, are you okay? So she goes in, she greets the king, who apparently is her cousin, and he's basically brought her here to like whip his girls into shape. So
did you think at first she was there to marry him?
Yes, I did think they were getting a stepmom, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, you were just grieving your wife 2 shots ago.
Especially because when she first enters the castle, she stands in front of the queen's like portrait.
Yeah. And she does replace that portrait with herself later. Spoilers. But yeah, so he like introduces her to all the princesses, and she takes some issue with like at least the first 5, and then Genevieve is just missing, so she like reams her out for being late when she gets there. I guess we should get back to the plot, huh? Okay.
Well,
I love it. Let's go get another drink so we can cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Campbell, do you remember being back in like 3rd grade and having like music class and learning to play the recorder and like hot cross buns?
Fun fact. So, I know a lot of wind instruments. I physically was not able to play the recorder. My teacher told me just to stand there at the concert. But yeah, I'm familiar with the concept.
That's so sad.
It's okay. I can play the bassoon. I've gotten over it. I don't feel bad about it.
Okay, well, we'll move on.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that. Boop. So, unfortunately enough, there are students all across the country that have never before had a general music education class and don't have the ability or the opportunity to access music education and get the chance to learn tons of different wind instruments or even just the recorder. And that's why we are partnering with Education Through Music, which is an organization that partners with low-income schools in New York City to provide students better access to music education.
Also, 53% of New York City schools do not have a music teacher on faculty full-time. So Education Through Music also provides weekly music education by putting qualified music teachers into these schools.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the reasons this is so important is because motivation for learning means motivation for staying in school. And a lot of the students that are able to be involved in these music programs report that they have attended school when they otherwise would have skipped, or like stayed in school when they otherwise like wouldn't have wanted to stay, specifically because they were looking forward to music class or they were looking forward to ensemble, and getting to learn specifically about music.
And you can support and learn more at etmonline.org/donate. That's etmonline.org/donate. And help out. Do you have an instrument that you've neglected and now it hates you? Do you have too much money and think, hey, this can go to a good place? Neither applies to me, but I want to talk to you about the Daddario Foundation. They believe in the transformative power of music and that mentoring and building communities through music can positively affect social change. 100% of every dollar raised goes directly to support efforts to get kids involved in community music programs, acquire and maintain instruments, provide college scholarships, and support new innovation in music education. You can learn more and donate at www.daddariofoundation.org/about/donate. That's www.daddariofoundation.org/about/donate.
Hey there, listeners. Pop quiz. Who was your favorite teacher in school? Did it happen to be someone who inspired a movie? Did that movie later change the world? Because that's exactly what happened with Mr. Holland's opus, the story of the profound effect a dedicated music teacher had on generations of students. The composer for the film, Michael Kamen, later started the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation in 1996 as his commitment to the future of music education. Today, the foundation works with schools nationwide to audit their music education programs, supply quality instruments, train teachers on basic instrument repair, and even offer customized consulting to make sure the school's program fits their students' needs. The impact of this foundation now ensures that hundreds of thousands of kids across the country are granted access to learn and play music in school, keeping music education alive and well. If you're interested in supporting their mission, you can donate online, over the phone, or even while you shop Amazon or eBay. Visit mhopus.org/donate to learn more. Welcome back, dearest listeners, and my dearest
Oh, gross. Cheers. I did go this time with a full ounce of lime juice instead of half an ounce.
Okay, nice.
And I like the color more.
Yeah, yours is like a... Oh, what is that?
Like
it's
a
beyond
Barbie
a
pink?
magenta. It's beyond a fuchsia. It's like a... I don't know. I will say, that is the color I feel like chartreuse should be. Every time I say the word chartreuse, it feels wrong that it describes a green.
But
it feels like it should be purple in my head.
But isn't it because of French?
Yes, correct. And French is wrong about many things.
But I think, well, how do you feel about vermilion?
Vermilion, I feel like should be green, and it's crazy that it's red to me.
Because are you thinking like
but like scarlet and crimson feel red to me. Vermilion feels green. Chartreuse feels purple.
How does cerulean feel to you?
Cerulean, I can go between blue and green. I know obviously it's blue, but like to me it's like a turquoisey, like aqua, like in the middle.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
I imagine cerulean is bluer than the color I'm picturing in my head when I think of the word cerulean.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, that's like blue.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a semi-green blue. Yeah, but it's like it's not.
Cerulean may also be mixed with the hue of green.
Yeah.
Which is really fun because cerulean was my favorite Crayola. You're gonna hate that I say this, crown.
Yep. I remember the first time hearing you say that, and I truly did not know what word you were saying.
That's. Are you stupid?
Are you like stupid or something?
Are you a dumb idiot? I think it's really fun because I did, where I learned that color other than crowns. Pokemon. Because you start off in Pokemon red, blue, or yellow, or green in Japan. You start off in Palette Town. Palette, that's so fun. And then each of the places you go are different colors. So Cerulean City is where Misty is, the water type gym
Hell
leader.
yeah. That's fun.
Lavender Town's where the graveyard is.
That's
with the dead ass Raticate. That was Blues, Gary's. Anyway, where are we at? I have not been paying attention with the plot.
So Brutus is bullying Twyla, and then
Of course,
the king.
I almost said something so crass.
I want to hear it.
No, we have to move on.
So the king...
I'm going to message it to you in the chat.
Okay. So the king is announcing that, the Duchess is going to, be taking charge of... That's crazy. And is going to be taking charge of their upbringing.
Yeah.
And Continue. We see... Then later we see the monkey is rifling through their bedroom and doing stuff with that.
Breaks a music box that we now know belongs to Blair because she likes horseback riding and collects music boxes. That's a really fun thing to collect.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you collect fun things?
Just mugs.
Yeah, if you had to pick up starting
today... I love how
today...
you agreed that wasn't a fun thing.
Yeah, it's fine. If you had to start today... Oh, I'm going to make you a dozen of mugs. That's not...
That made sense.
Right?
I picked up.
If you had to collect something niche starting today, what would it be?
Niche in what way? Because I feel like everything that a person could collect, there is somebody collecting it. True. There's a community of people collecting it.
I don't mean stamps. I don't mean baseball cards.
Okay. Do you mean antique forks?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my thing. That's
antique
the one.
forks.
That's it.
From henceforth, any gift you get from me will be an antique fork. One may be a threek.
You're so funny. Oh my god. What would yours be?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what would be fun to actually collect. It has to be something creepy.
What's it called? Long Furbies?
No, not in my home. No, absolutely not. I have many a skeleton in my closet, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. Staring at one right now. But Furby, that's where I draw the line. That's demonic.
I love it.
Oh, do you know what would be fun? Those old school plastic lunch boxes.
Hell yeah.
Like if I had like
feel
a
that.
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger
Yeah.
lunchbox.
Oh, I wonder if you can find like a Recess one. Do you remember Recess? That show slapped.
Shout out to okay, let's say the best out of the Recess gangs on the what?
Spinell is not Spinell. What's her name?
Spinelli.
No, Spinelli.
I was going to say we're going to say on the count of 3 which one it is, and then you jump the gun. But I was going to say Ashley S. and/or Spinelli.
That was my
that episode
bitch.
when
I
Mikey
loved her.
realized he could sing in this like really low voice, but only in the bathroom. Nobody.
Yes, he was. I do love him. He was my favorite. He was like my favorite. Like,
who's your favorite
a
secondary character in Recess? I think mine is like the swing girl that like who was trying to go over like the bars.
The swing girl is fun. I think the girl with the ball that was just like always playing with the ball. It was a little kid. It was I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl, but there was a kid on the playground that was truly just only concerned about this ball, and I was like, I feel you, kid.
The movie was
or
good
the
too.
Digger, no, genuinely the Digger twins. The Digger twins are actually like a kindred spirit. Did I tell you about how my sister and I used to genuinely dig holes for fun?
Which sister?
Rwanda.
I was going to guess. I would have been correct. I still haven't met her. But did you ever watch the movie Recess School's Out?
Yes.
We had it on DVD, and I remember. So
we also had it on like tape or something like that.
What song did they sing at the end? That was like a Beatles ripoff.
Oh,
was it Green Tambourine?
I'm not gonna know the name of the Beatles song. I'm trying to remember if I remember the name of the.
No. Green Tambourine is a song by the Lemon Pipers. And they sing it and play it in Recess School's Out. That was it. Because they had the most leftist, hippy-dippy teacher. Remember Ms. Finster? Do you remember the episode where Spinelli stayed the night with Ms. Finster? Because, like, her, like her parents, like, ran into Ms. Spinster at the grocery store, and apparently like Spinelli's grandma was like best friends with Ms. Spinster, and they like would like go partying, and they were like hula dancing together, and she had to spend the night with her, and they had a great time. And then they pretended like when they were going to school after all the fun time they had, they were like, we need to pretend this didn't happen, but between us,
I feel that
we get each other.
I love that.
I really like
I didn't remember
Ashleys.
that episode, but that sounds fun.
Yeah. We're going to have a lot to cut out this episode.
We are, but a lot of bonus episode content. We haven't had one in a while.
Do we still want to do the thing where like just like if we have an off week, we'll release like a bonus episode of a bunch of bonus episode content from like multiple musicals?
Yeah, I think that's fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Or like near the end of the season, like before our season 3 finale, we can be like, here's what got cut this season.
Yeah, I think either one, would be fun, depending on how many we accumulate.
And then we can record different intros, just like, this was a conversation during Barbie, blah, 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 where we talk about Recess, the TV show. Don't know the context. Here you go.
Yeah. Context doesn't matter. You won't get it. So the Duchess puts them all in these like dreary uniform gray dresses, and is having them practice with fans. She also
Which honestly, fan work. She knows what she's doing.
For real. The thing that bothers me is that like she keeps telling them they can't dance, but I'm just like, but dancing is a part of what a princess would be expected to do during this time. It's like kind of wild. But she keeps getting all of their names wrong.
Because this movie's just footloose.
Correct. And she like takes all their stuff and gives them an alarm clock and a hard bedtime of 8 p.m. Even for the girls that are like in their 20s, and I'm like, bitch, that's crazy.
Like literally Ashley and Blair can drink. And they have to go to bed at 8 p.m. with their 5-year-old sisters.
That's crazy. So at 8, all of the girls are like rushing to get into bed. We see Lacey's having trouble because she's also like, they keep calling her, like, she calls her like the runt of her sisters. I'm like, she's 5. Get like, it's chill. Like,
she's a screw up. Everyone else is good at things, but not I.
Like, not I, said the frog. Ah, Tina. So she's
Tina.
having trouble getting into bed, and so like Genevieve, like as she's getting in, like sees her, goes to help her, and so Genevieve gets caught out of bed when the Duchess comes in the room, and she gets in trouble. And then like all the girls are talking, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's so mean. Genevieve, you have to go talk to Dad because he'll actually listen to you and like get her to like chill the fuck out, basically. And so then Genevieve is like talking to him about it, and the Duchess comes in and it's like, oh, well, if you fire me, like, honestly, they need like a whole team of help. They need all sorts of tutors and governesses.
Embarrassing?
That'll be embarrassing.
You have 12 kids. You need teachers.
That's what you should have been doing. Like, that's what people of nobility did during this time, was they hired governesses and tutors for their daughters. Like, it's not their fault that you've been neglecting them for
he has been neglecting them.
Like, genuinely. And so, yeah, so then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to keep you on because I don't want to embarrass them. So then she begins poisoning him naturally. And so, oh my God. So we see all the girls the next day, they're like talking, and they or like that evening they're talking. We learn that the next day is the triplets' birthday. And so they do a similar thing to what my family did when we were young, was like they wake you up with a song. My family just sang happy birthday, but they sing like a special birthday song that they have. And basically they have this little tradition that they got from their mom.
It's a good song too.
And yeah, it's a fun song. It's like a nice melody, and like they do like a like melody round, kind of like row, row, row your boat, like rounds like with that.
One of the few times I think capitalism was a good thing with, you know, for a long time with like happy birthday not being in the public domain. People have to be really creative with like, oh, we're singing for a birthday in a, you know, some medium, so we don't have to pay money for that. It's just like, you know, some creative things did happen. Like, do you have a favorite birthday singing song from a movie?
No, I can try to think of one.
I really like the one in Empress New Groove.
Can you remind me?
When they're at the restaurant with the bug.
I remember the scene. I do not remember the song.
That's good.
I'll check it out.
Moving on.
So the girl whose birthday it is becomes like queen for a day. And so they're all singing until the Duchess comes in and just like interrupts them. And Genevieve was like, yeah, like we got this tradition from our mom, so it's really important to us. And the Duchess was like, well, no dancing or singing until you learn how to act like proper royals.
She's not wearing shoes. What does that mean? What is that? You know that video I'm talking about? I have to look this up. Sorry, I'm on one today.
I do not know what you're talking about.
It is dead shoes meme is what I'm Googling.
That's why you're painting on no knees. You can't pray to Jesus, bitch.
That's why your mom was dead.
I do remember this.
Yeah. That's what I thought about during this scene.
Sometimes Black people, we go too far. I do remember that.
You know what, Raven? Disagree. Black people, keep on trucking.
My goodness. So Lacey is sad that their father presumably forgot their birthday, even though truly he's dying. But they don't know that yet. But one of the girls is like, oh, well, it's okay. Like, I got you a gift still. And she brings them like a storybook called The Dancing Princess, and basically they explain like, this is another tradition from our mom, like every year, or like whenever one of us turned 5, like on our 5th birthday, she would give us a book that was like one of her favorite stories. And they each have, she reads the story, which is just about like a princess who like finds
it's the
a
same
magic
story,
castle.
but different covers and stuff like that.
Yeah. She's a princess who finds like a magic castle, goes to visit 3 times. The 3rd time she leaves it, she like can't ever go back again. It disappears. But she's able to take some of the magic with her. And so they realize that each of the flowers on the cover of each of their books that they received when they were 5 matches one of the tiles on the floor. And so they...
So here's my problem.
Yeah.
They realize that, like, starting with the eldest flower, the geranium, to the youngest, they can activate this portal, dance, whatever.
Yeah.
Did they never just randomly step on the geranium first, ever? Because it lights up.
That's totally valid.
Thank you.
That doesn't bother me as much as the idea that Ashlyn hasn't worked out in 17 years that the covers of the flowers on their books match the tiles on the floor.
Ashlyn is busy loving music, especially playing the flute and oboe. She's busy being straightforward
the 3
and
oldest
caring
sisters
for her
have
younger
been a part
sisters.
of this tradition for 15 years or more.
She tries to act as a role model.
The 3 oldest sisters have been a part of this tradition for at least 15 years. And in that time, none of them have... It took Genevieve, the
17,
oldest
16,
of
and 15.
the youngest of the oldest girls, to be like, oh my god, the flowers on our books are the flowers on the floor, guys.
They plan to have 12 kids. Or when do you think... So if this tradition started when Ashlyn was 5...
Yeah. Some
was she in this bedroom? Was
Some
she in this
people
bedroom
genuinely
by
do plan
herself?
to have that many kids, especially when you live in this time and you're nobility and you don't have to worry about like
But
money.
did they already have the architecture planned out, like were the tiles already here? And
maybe they didn't make the tiles until after they'd done this a few times. So maybe
after Genevieve, the 7th sister, they were like,
that still
hold
gives
up, we need to
Ashlyn. That still gives
reconstruct,
Ashlyn.
and we need to take 3
Genevieve
years.
is only 6 years younger than Ashlyn. That still gives Ashlyn like a full decade.
No. But we need to spend 3 years to actually update this room, and it's like, oh shit, we need to put this magic stuff like to work.
I don't think there's any way you can work out the math where it doesn't make sense that this moment is the first time anyone has realized that in this room. I don't think there's any way you can work out the math.
Ashlyn is busy loving music, especially playing the flute.
Which one of these girls likes numbers? How about that?
Feisty and outspoken. It is always the first to voice their opinion, especially complaints about Rowena's presence in their lives.
Courtney likes book reading. She ain't looking at the numbers. She ain't looking
at the numbers. She's not taking the Julia Roberts theme. Delia and Edeline are just like...
Who likes flowers? Fallon is a romantic.
Fallon is a romantic, but she's too busy playing the harp. Crazy. Unfortunately. And she likes hearts, lace, and writing stories, not reading stories. That would be Courtney.
I just feel like someone should have figured it out before now, but I'll let it go.
What we do see later on, a point I have to make, is that they're stupid and they do actually need education. It'll come up. Magic Portal... begins, and then they start entering, they see this magical world, they get on this golden boat, and then the song going on. What I really like about this movie, this film, is the different like classical music pieces that's going on right now. So when they're first entering this realm, Felix Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream, specifically the Nocturne movement, is playing.
Yeah, and I really like yes, the inclusion of older shut up of older like Renaissance and like Romance period like music from this time, but specifically like there is, I mean, it's from the titles and like but it still gets the vibe of it because the music of this time frame, but like the way they're pairing the music with the scene. I mean, like, obviously that's how you score a film, is like thinking about the vibe of the music and stuff. But it's really cool, like the way they specifically paired certain movements with certain scenes in a way that kind of shows the progression of the story through the progression of the symphony. Which specifically the 4th, which is the one that we hear the most of.
No, but that's interesting though, because they go backwards in some of the symphonies.
Interesting.
In the progression of the plot.
Well, I don't mean like progression.
They're doing like a first movement when they're entering this, and then later on they're doing
like
the
Midsummer
third
Night's Dream
movement.
is one of those where they play Nocturne here, but then they play like Fairies March
later.
Yeah, Fairies March later. But like what I mean is like pairing the energy of the music and the intention of the music. Yeah. So they emerge into like a castle on a lake that's like kind of a version of their castle a little bit. Like they can see the pavilion.
Like their mother's dance pavilion.
Yes.
Which I always thought had 2 L's, but my notes app is telling me it's only 1 L.
It is indeed 1 L. I do feel like I've seen it spelled at some point with 2. Or like, it has, I can see it. So they take this like magic boat ride across the lake. And yeah, we're hearing Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream. And one of them says like, oh, I wish there were music. And the castle like obliges. They all begin dancing. Eventually, Lacey
Mendelssohn's
falls.
4th Symphony.
Yes.
3rd movement.
Yes. And eventually, Lacey falls down as they're dancing.
And what am I always saying about musicals, Raven?
There's not enough blood.
There's not enough blood. Why are kids always scraping their knees?
Always. I have so many scars on my legs.
I thought about, like, when I watched that, I, like, thought back to all the time I, like, scraped my knee on, like, asphalt or, like, got cuts and stuff, which, like...
We're uncoordinated.
I'm very prone to, like, waking up and I was like, oh... I'm bleeding. There's like weird like cut on my hand. Where's this from? I've been sleeping. But as a kid, I would always scrape my knee.
Yeah. No, I wake up with weird cuts too, but they've usually clotted and like scarred by the time not scarred, but like when the scab forms.
Is everything okay with you and your cat?
No, that bitch abuses me.
She hates men, and it's the thing I love most about her.
So
try to act surprised when I'm around. I was like, Onyx, I was there when you were gone.
Literally. So
I was the distraction at Buffalo Wild Wings while Justice snuck and bought you a cat.
Oh, true. That was such a good night.
Shout out to Justice.
Shout out to Justice.
Saved your
Genevieve
life.
goes and helps her to like wash off her knee, and the water from the fountain just heals her knee. And Lacey is like, that's amazing.
And they don't think about it again, except for Lacey.
Lacey does. Lacey's like, this shit is amazing.
Except for Lacey.
That's so true, though. The rest of them were like,
there
there are
like,
possible applications of this.
Father. Oh, well, let's go dance.
Right?
Let's go throw ass.
They
let's
love
go
dancing,
put the pussy on the chain
Give 'em a
wax.
break.
Yeah, whatever.
So later the triplets are asleep.
Ashlyn, you're supposed to be practical, calm, and knowledgeable.
Later, the triplets fall asleep because they're 5, and the rest of the girls still going strong. They're dancing now to the Fairy March from Midsummer Night's Dream.
Felix Mendelssohn.
And Genevieve realizes that she has fully worn out her shoes and decide like we should go back home.
Relatable. My old Crocs I wore out in the same fashion. Holes underneath. Rough. The black ones I had with the like pink floral kind of dogwood tree-esque blooms on it. I miss those Crocs.
That's rough. I hate like wearing a hole in the bottom of my shoe, like because I've worn many a pair of shoes to the point that I could feel the ground.
And you be walking.
I do be walking. I like walking. It's good. So then
that's your catchphrase. Portia reads the papers.
Portia reads the papers. So then the next morning at breakfast, they're all falling asleep because none of them slept except the 5-year-olds. And the Duchess is like, where were you? What's going on? And she gets like a message of like someone there to speak to her. She's like, I gotta go deal with this, but I want answers when I get back. So then they're all summoned to the king's quarters, and he tells them like, hey, I'm really sorry. I was just really tired. I like fell asleep. I can't believe I didn't come like say hi to you for your birthday and thing.
Horrible birthday.
Right. And he was like, I just wasn't feeling up to breakfast. And out of the window, Genevieve sees the Duchess giving one Mr. Fabian, who was the person that she was told had a message for her, a pouch with something in it. And then we cut. So like the father, like the king's kind of made up. He's like giving them their gifts. We cut and we see Twyla in the bedroom and sees Brutus like messing around with just stuff in the bedroom. He like steals Genevieve's dancing shoes, and she tries to catch him.
Breaks
but he runs
Blair's
out with them.
music box, which we know she collects.
Yes. And he takes the shoes over to the Duchess, who is like, they've worn through their dancing shoes. That means they've been out dancing with princes.
I feel like she pays attention to these girls, unlike their father.
And she's like, and you know what that means? And at that point, I fully expected her to be like, they're no longer virgins or something. Like, it was like, you're making this really weird.
Something is truly deeply wrong with you, and I know the reason why, and the reasons, plural, why, which we won't bring on the podcast.
I can't even have a good time.
We can sit in it, just you and me right now.
We can move on. And she says...
That's what she says.
She says, if princes fall for those pampered pretties, my plans are ruined. And I love that line.
This is also fun because Catherine O'Hara plays the best character in this. She was in 30 Rock, wasn't she?
She was for
Wasn't
something.
she Kenneth's mom? What was her name?
Was she Kenneth's? She might have been.
Because it was her, and then Ron. Was it Ron? The
I do not remember character names
stepdad
outside
played
the
by
main
Bryan
cast.
Cranston. What was her name? Was it like Perline or something like that? It was like Darlene but different. I want to say Perline.
She did play. Her name was Perline Parcel, and she was played by Catherine O'Hara. Your memory is insane to me.
Imagine if my memory was as good. Like, I have a great memory for work, but what if it was dedicated to my job?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, what if I hadn't done too many drugs in my life?
You don't know me. You don't even know all the drugs I've done.
I fear.
I'm going to drink these faster so you drink 4 drinks tonight.
That's crazy. So the girls all gathered around the king singing Sacerdotes Domini by William Byrd, which is a really beautiful choral melody that has these like waterfall descending melody lines, and I love it. I love choral music.
It's fine.
And so the Duchess like stops them and tells them to leave, and she's like going to make him like more of this tea that is she's poisoning. And so Genevieve is like, maybe you should call the doctor or something. You seem really sick. Maybe you should get like an actual professional in to help you. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense actually. And so the doctor's like, okay, you should be perfectly fine. Just take this elixir twice daily. And the Duchess is like, oh, I'll take care of that. No problem. Immediately pours it out after he leaves, obviously. And so then Derek comes back to bring them.
They need new shoes because they wore them out. They need more shoes
because they've
But
danced to the last pair.
also talks to him and is like, okay, here's this dude Fabian. Can you do some sleuthing for me, big boy? Because something's not right going on. And Desmond is supposed to be on watch for the girls tonight as well. And they're like, you know what? We're going to like be super inconspicuous and have our bedroom glow magical light from every window and crevice. And somehow people don't know something's going on here. And they go back to the Magic Land.
And they don't.
And we hear Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony. But this time, the first movement, not the third. So that's what it's kind of
I thought
backwards.
It was the fourth, not the
No,
first.
it's the Fourth Symphony, but the first movement. Because they were like, I feel like doing ballet. I wish we were dressed like ballerinas and like the music's going on and there's some fun imitation of Rowena. That's happening as well. Yes. I think initiated by Blair. Because she's feisty and outspoken. And is always the first to voice her opinion, especially her complaints about Rowena's presence in their lives.
I love that. And so then we cut back to Derek, who's like catching up to Mr. Fabian on the road after he's left the castle. And Mr. Fabian sees him and is kind of like starting to move faster, like try to get away from him. And so he like fully disconnects his wagon, hops on his horse, and like gives chase. And he discovers, like, Mr. Fabian's like, oh, well, I'm just, like, a little old apothecary, just, like, traveling, selling, and that the Duchess, like, often apparently doesn't pay her bills, makes sense, she can barely keep a carriage together, And Fabian offers him this like silver goblet that he can see has the girl's mother's name on it, Isabella. And so Derek like trades. At first the dude is like, oh, well, like, I'll take your talking parrot, or your talking bird. But then Derek trades his horse for it instead, which I'm just like, I get that the parrot is like your friend or something, but the horse is kind of critical to like your trade. Like, I just feel like it's a better fiscal decision.
Question for you, Raven. How do you feel about the number of animal companions in this?
I truly have no issue with it, but I take it that you probably do. If the monkey were less annoying and the parrot less racist, I would have no issue with the physical number of animals.
I think this is the upper limit of what the physical number can be, because it's protagonist, love interest, and villain.
You had such an issue with Quest for Camelot.
You're the one that brought it up, like you did in Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I noticed that, even though in the notes, in the label, while you were in the recording on Audacity, you were like, Campbell's bringing this up again, but you were the one that brought that up. That wasn't my problem. You brought it up.
Like the things that you're saying just naturally lend themselves.
No,
to, like,
I think you just like, oh, I'm thinking about this now because he's correct.
Quest for Camelot,
because he's correct.
Which I felt personally attacked by.
Which is so funny because Jasmine on our Instagram, did I tell you what she said?
What?
When that episode came out? Hold on. Let me go to the post. OMG, I almost forgot about this movie. It was so good. Fire emoji. You can all be wrong. If anything, it makes more sense. I didn't see Rwanda comment that. Who also follows us.
I don't feel like that needs to be significant. Maybe Rwanda's just staying out of it.
Or maybe the middle child is always right.
That's crazy. Never that. So
always
the Duchess,
that, child.
The Duchess goes to wake up all the other girls, and Brutus finds yet another pair of worn out dancing shoes. And at this point, she's enraged. She's like, what the fuck is going on? Desmond was supposed to be watching you.
And we get into Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony, second movement.
The second movement, yes. And they tell her the truth, literally. They're like, we went to the pavilion, we got there on a magic boat by traveling through a magic portal.
And she was like, you know what? You will now be maids. Literally. Do yard work.
She's like, maybe if I treat you like maids, you'll be better? Question mark.
Which I will say, she's a villain, she's wrong, but I do think these girls do need structure.
They absolutely need structure and like something to like, yes, for sure.
And while they're cleaning, Lacey, like in a very Amelia Bedelia fashion, is just a clumsy bitch and just like knocks things over.
She drops
like,
a whole tub
why am I not
leaves.
good at anything?
It's like, girl, you're 5 and you're tiny. They shouldn't have had you carrying that in the first place. Like, 5 is truly like a child. Like, I mean, they're all children, but like, well, except for the oldest ones.
Yeah, like, except for
the first 5.
Edeline plus.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's a little baby. Like
Edeline, Delia. Again, now I've been in academia for a fair amount of time now.
Yeah,
they're all children. They just are.
That's valid.
21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, you're just like, you're teenage plus.
I feel that. Because, like, what is the meaningful difference in a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old?
1 year.
Literally.
Quick maths.
Impressed. Quick maths, hell yeah.
I have my doctorate.
And so she, like, runs away, and Genevieve follows her, and we see this little, like, bond that they have. And so they go off to talk to the king, who is once again being poisoned by the Duchess and wondering why he's still sick. And so she... Oh. I thought I needed to sneeze.
I could tell by everything you just did because your words and actions.
Oh my gosh, you're finishing these so fast, Campbell! I'm only like 2/3 of the way through mine.
Get good. I'm just having a really good time with my dear friend.
I can tell because you're plying me with alcohol.
What? I'm doing nothing of the sort. Let's get another drink.
Let's get another drink. Burp.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, my Ooh, I didn't do a full ounce of lemon juice, but I did put in a little extra, or sorry, lime juice, not lemon.
I did have a full half an ounce.
You mean a full ounce?
Full ounce, yes. Full ounce.
Yes. I put in 3/4 of an ounce this time, and it is good. I like it.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. So, Barbie and the 12 dancing princesses.
We've had so many tangents.
Okay, so the Duchess comes in and demands the truth from the princesses.
And Middleton's
and
Fifth
says, like,
Symphony, second
tomorrow
moment.
you're going to be cleaning out the stables. You've already scrubbed the steps.
Okay, we already talked about that in Lacey.
No, we talked about them during the garden. This is when she's coming in and threatening them again of like, tomorrow you're going to have to clean the stables. And then she locks them all in the room. Yes.
Cinderella style.
Yes, and Desmond posts Desmond outside the door again.
Never mind.
Okay.
I was like, we can't get into another tangent. Actually, I will. Soon. This is a good one.
Okay.
I know you're not watching the most recent Drag Race season right now.
Not at all.
Oh, I got the alcohol hiccups. That's embarrassing.
You chose this.
It's been a while. Shout Stained, the band. I don't know their political affiliation, so I get nervous about like dad rock bands. Did I send you that thing that was like grandma hobbies but dad rock vibe?
I think so.
And it was like someone baking but listening to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stained or Incubus or something like that. I was just like, oh, that is me as a person. But there was one TikTok I saw. There was like, would you rather be dad rock or cigarette mom? And then it was like a bunch of like Alanis. And I was like, oh, I'm both. But anyway, this most current Drag Race season, there's this drag queen called Jane Don't from Seattle, Washington. And she describes herself as the younger sister to our older drag sisters, older, prettier and meaner drag sisters, Irene the Alien and Bosco.
That's so funny.
And I would love for them to do a show that's like a reverse Cinderella, where Cinderella is like the ugly one that they just bully. And she would be that. And then Bosco and Irene would be the pretty, like, accomplished, like, stepsisters that are just right for being better than her. That's my petition. It's all going to be edited out.
I love that.
What were we talking about?
Every time.
Why am I wearing a beanie indoors?
I don't know, but it fits your aesthetic. So all of them, like, so Genevieve and Lacey had gone to like go talk to their dad, but before they could go in, outside of the door, they heard him talking about like, well, they thought they heard him talk about basically how much of a burden they were, but really he like followed
programming trope.
Yeah.
Not hearing the full context of a conversation.
Yes. So, like, after that, their dad was like, but I love them so much and I would do anything for them and I just wish, you know, that I could, like, basically cherish them in this moment. But they left before they could hear that. And so now they decide to
tomorrow.
Leave.
They're getting locked in.
So, like, true child move. They're just like, well, let's just go to the Magic Castle and stay there to be not a burden until he's better.
Would you leave there if you got everything you wanted?
Would I leave the Magic Castle? Or would I leave the regular castle to go to
Magic Castle? Because you can only go there 3 times.
You can only go there 3 times. It's hard because, like, it's not like their dad's already dead. If their dad had, like, fully passed away, then I'd be like, hell yeah, for sure. Just go to the Magic Castle and stay there. But it's hard because then they'll never see him again. If the dad weren't there, yes, I would go to the Magic Castle and stay. Yeah.
And so they're gone, and they're like, oh, the princesses are missing. The doctor comes back, and Rowena was like, you know, he is really sad because the queen has recently died. And the doctor was like, oh yeah, this is a broken heart.
I guess medicine can't help him.
What a horrible doctor. What a horrible, horrible doctor. Which is like...
Also, violation of HIPAA laws that didn't exist at this time period.
Which tracks Megatron. It was just like, you know what? I can't save the father of the protagonist.
Yeah.
Villain, antagonist.
Crazy. So then Derek shows
he
up.
also plays Chase Young in Shaolin Showdown, which is also an antagonist in that series.
So then Derek shows up asking about Genevieve and is told, like, yeah, they're all missing. And he breaks into the castle fully, goes to their bedroom.
Well, they have 3 guards for an entire castle.
I mean,
so,
truly.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
And he finds his signature shoe polish on the floor and is able to, like, kind of like, kind of keypad style, figure out the pattern of the dance from, like, the amount of shoe polish left behind. And so he works out the 12-step dance also because he's seen Barbie, like, or Genevieve, like, do the dance, kind of. So he does that, and we see Brutus is watching from the corner.
And he really shows Rowena just like what's going on. He eventually figures it out, and she goes into the magic land, and she was like, I wish I could see what's going on. And her opera glasses turns into a spyglass, and she was like, you know what, show me some of these flowers, which is the smart thing to do, Catherine O'Hara. You are correct in this.
And we see, like, the girls are, like, dancing. One of them had wished for, like, a handsome prince to dance with. So, like, they have, like, dancing with these bronze statues, which is when we hear Mendelssohn's Fifth Symphony. And Derek, like, finds them, shows Genevieve the goblets.
The second movement, specifically.
The second movement, yes, from the Fifth Symphony. Thank you.
Not to be confused with Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony, second movement.
Correct.
And that's when Rowena was questioning the girls.
And so Derek shows Genevieve the goblet, so she knows, like, okay, so she stole this from our mother, basically. And so because she's broke. And so the girls then learn, like, oh, their dad is still really, really sick. So then they're deciding, like, what to do, like, we should go back, right? And then the castle just starts disappearing around them, and we cut back to the main castle and see Desmond is smashing up all the tiles.
Which honestly work.
Smart move, like, genuinely from her perspective, absolutely.
It's kind of intense.
Yeah, it really is. Like,
that's the first time I felt like real stakes were happening, and that's like one of the reasons why I think this Barbie movie does not hold up comparatively to the other Barbie movies.
Because it has real stakes?
Because it has real stakes, but also, like, all the scenes are within the castle and, like, this magic land, while I feel like there was, like, more of, like, an environment or a world with the other ones.
That's fair. There was definitely more of, like, the world,
like,
for
there was a dragon that was going to kill them in Barbie Diamond Castle. Yeah, like, the idea that
there were things outside of where they live. Like, this is a very insular
outside
story,
of the liberal bubble.
That's crazy. And so, yeah, so the Duchess is talking to the king. She's like, I don't know where the girls are. It's crazy.
They must not love you anymore.
They must not love you enough. And so he asks her, well, would you stand in for me until I'm recovered?
Keep in mind, this man is the king. This is why you can never trust a cousin. Claire, John, if you hear me right now, I don't trust you.
I don't trust you, hoes.
Liam, Maddie, don't trust you. Martin, Colin, don't trust you. Those are a lot of my actual cousins.
Love it.
Actually, I do trust Maddie and Claire specifically.
And so she's like, well, of course, but of course I would stand in for you. And so he signs over a transfer of power to her. And then we go back to the Magic Pavilion. The girls find another tile portal and discover that,
was there the entire time.
That was there the entire time, and it turns out that this one needs Genevieve and Derek to dance it together.
Barbie and Ken have to dance together.
Barbie and Ken have to dance together, and so then they all start floating up into the sky.
I do think I may have seen this movie before, because like some parts of it,
certainly, like
some parts of it, I was like, I had to have been watching this while my sister was watching it. I'm going to text my sister right now. We'll see if she responds by the end of this recording session.
So then back in the castle, the Duchess is telling the guards, like, oh, I've taken over, arrest the princesses if you see them. They're traitors, basically, for not supporting their dad. And so the princesses and Derek make it back to, like, they arrive in their mother's dancing pavilion from the Magic Castle, and they overhear the guards talking about the state of the kingdom. So they know, like, okay, she's somehow queen now. Our dad, we don't know what's happened to him. And so they decide, like, we got to go rescue our dad. We need to figure out what's happening.
Because the king doesn't know that they're missing.
He doesn't know that they're missing. So then the twins distract the guards with their stilts while Genevieve and Derek sing into the castle. Which I thought was a fun little callback. All of the sisters are involved. So first, Blair steals a horse from a guard to go get the doctor. Yeah.
Makes sense, because Blair loves horses.
Loves horseback riding.
Delia and Eldine crochet to the dome some guards. While Hadley and Isla, classic stilt switch.
Yeah.
While they're running across the... 100%. That was one of the OGs my sister says about Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm going to say Ashlyn is me. That's so funny. I knew I saw this before. It was because my sister watched this.
Hell
she
yeah.
may have had some of the toys. But yeah, Hadley and Isla, classic stilt switch. And then Genevieve sees Desmond. Courtney hits him with a cart, and Ashlyn and Fallon locks the door.
Yeah.
And
so
then
it's like,
Lacey
a joint
has
effort.
her magic water, like the youngest 5-year-olds are like, oh, we don't know what to do. And she was like, no, I have to get this to Genevieve. So Janessa and Kathleen are the two that do nothing. And I wanted to point that out.
They're 5, Campbell.
Well... Lacey was able to do something. I said Ashlyn is me, and my sister responded immediately. Her and that flute queen currently watching Drag Rage.
Love it.
Lol will watch tomorrow. Watch. Damn nail. She's like currently watching Drag Rage. Race. Damn nails. We'll watch tomorrow. Watch Jujutsu Kaisen. Kaisen. Spell Kaisen, please. The Maki app. So funny. She knew immediately what this is. She knew who Ashlyn was immediately. Shout out to Mary Kelly McCauley.
She'll be
on the podcast soon. Rock of Ages.
The Duchess.
Trust the Duchess.
Indeed, gives the king the last dose of poison, and he passes out. Just as dies. Genevieve and Derek. Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure if like he was like slowly dying, or if he was like dead. So then Genevieve and Derek arrive to confront her, and we hear the final movement of Mendelssohn's Fourth Symphony as they get into like this face-off.
Because she stole the flowers and was like, I want wish magic.
Yeah, and so the Duchess like wishes a nearby suit of armor to protect her, and Derek like is fighting against it. So then we see Desmond escapes from where the girls trapped him, and Felix, his bird, tries to like fly off to warn everyone, but then Brutus attacks him until Twyla saves him, which I think this is a cute moment between Twyla and Felix, because it's like Genevieve and Derek are like fighting off the Duchess while the two of them are fighting off. I don't give a
shit about this animal B plot.
That's crazy. I love it.
So then like Derek, where did she get the mouse trap from?
Who cares?
Why is she the whole time she was just like, I'm not a cat. I come from Bengal tigers. And then she's just like takes like a mouse trap to like snap a tail.
Okay, but like, does she save him or does she not save him?
I don't give a shit.
Anyway, so Derek defeats the suit of armor, and Desmond bursts in with like Lacey like by the arm. And so then the Duchess tries to use her flower again to hex Genevieve to dance forever and ever and ever. But then Genevieve uses her fan that the Duchess gave her to like blow, I guess, the pollen back towards her.
I also wrote pollen.
Hell yeah.
Other than like fairy dust or like sparkles. I'm
the
like,
magic.
this is pollen.
It's pollen.
I have my experience being allergic to tree pollen. Virginia, the number one state for it.
So she like blows it back towards the Duchess and like turns the wish against her. And then Desmond like tries to help her, but then gets caught up in the enchantment as well. So then they just kind of like literally dance off basically into the proverbial sunset. And Genevieve initially tries to wake up their dad, but nothing happens until Lacey pulls out the vial. Makes sense. Until Lacey pulls, or in a coma, but until Lacey pulls out a vial of water from the magic fountain that she brought.
Lake water specifically. Lakes, gross. Rivers, cool. Hot take.
True. Moving water is important to prevent bacterial growth.
And I can say that with confidence, listeners. You
as
know
an
why?
environmental engineer.
Because I have my doctorate in it.
Dr. Macaulay. And so, so she gives it to him. He wakes up and he's like, you're all beautiful and special. You can just be yourselves from here on out. No longer am I going to try to educate you or show you any attention. And so then we see the princesses are all like riding. We get into like an epilogue basically. We see the princesses are all like riding together towards Genevieve's wedding to Derek, and we hear Gottschalk's Grand Tarantella as they all dance together, and then Fiend. And then we hear
Shine, the end credit song performed by Cassidy Ladin.
This is a good song.
It is a good song. Who did play in Barbie and the Diamond Castle, Teresa / Alexa. So she's one of the singing voices for Two Voices, One Song with Melissa Lyons, the singing voice for Liana / Barbie.
Nice.
Even though
I remember Teresa.
The speaking voice was still Kelly Sheridan, but the singing voice was Melissa Lyons.
Hell yeah.
But it's a banger.
It's a good song.
Boppity bop bop bop.
So, discussion question, Campbell.
Oh, God.
If you were royalty, what would your uncouth working class dalliance be?
I need you to explain all of that.
Genevieve's was a cobbler.
A baker.
Oh, okay. Baker.
Easy. Specifically the baker from Kiki's Delivery Service. You know why? Because he's a supportive husband. He bakes very well, and he doesn't talk. I
love that so much. I feel like I'd go with like a sailor or like a fisherman. A, because I love being by the water. B, because it would mean that like he'd be gone for like periods of times, but like I would know when I would have time with him, and then I would have plenty of time on myself and like the balance.
You give the energy of my man is at sea.
Don't I?
You really do. Like I could see you like being a lighthouse warden,
a lighthouse wife.
I'd live in a lighthouse.
Jonathan would too.
And you go to the coast and do science.
Yeah, or just like draw, paint, write poems.
You would be a siren.
Shut the fuck up. That's so funny.
Yeah,
if I were like a mythical creature, yeah, for sure.
If I was a mythical creature, what would I be?
A cyclops.
Interesting.
They're very good crafters.
Okay.
And surprisingly intelligent.
So, I'm surprisingly intelligent?
No, cyclopses are surprisingly intelligent.
Okay, interesting. Okay, discussion question over. Raven's composition. What you got for us?
Most of the including pieces, as we mentioned, were by Felix Mendelssohn, who is an early 1800s German romantic composer, pianist, organist, and conductor. There was one that was by William Byrd, who is a 1500s English Renaissance composer. And the finale, as I mentioned, was done by Louis Moreau Gottschalk, who is a mid-1800s American composer, pianist, and like virtuoso performer. And then the theme, which I thought was fun, the 12 Dancing Princesses theme was based on the theme from the Siciliana in Ancient Airs and Dances by Ottorino Respighi, who is an early 1900s Italian composer, violinist, teacher, and musicologist, who I thought was really fun. So the actual music for the movie was done by like Arnie Roth, who we've talked about before. He did the music for Barbie and Diamond Castle, as well as Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper. So he's done like music for like he's like composed, arranged, and conducted for I think all of the musical-ish Barbie movies. So this movie debuted at number 1 on the top DVD sales chart, selling 500,000 units in its first week. It unfortunately did not win.
I knew this movie was familiar, and my sister confirmed
it. Was really popular.
It was really popular. I knew it was like the moment that they were like dancing in the air when they were trying to escape the magical realm. I was just like, this looks so familiar. And it was because like I was probably in my green chair reading my book or playing my Game Boy or DS while my sister was watching it on the TV.
That's so funny. I love that. And so it unfortunately didn't win any awards, but it was nominated for 3. So it was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Original Song for Shine, the Leo Award for Best Animation Program or Series, and the Leo Award for Best Direction / Storyboarding in an Animation Program or Series. So yeah, I don't think, like, not my favorite of the Barbie movies. That's still, I think, Diamond Castle. But I like it. I had a pretty good time watching this. Too. Yeah.
But for our musical segment, we're not going to be side reading this time. We're going to mix it up. We're trying new things. And I thought it'd be really interesting if we listened to a certain piece and just like talked about our thoughts about it. Ooh. Specifically, so this, like, the theme of it is based on, like, has allusions to Suite Number 3 from the Ancient Airs and Dances by Ottorino Respighi. So I have, which were freely transcribed. Originally pieces were for the lute, but there's 3 different suites. Cheers, suites. That's why I did this.
Cheers. Love it.
So Suite Number 1 was composed in 1917, and it's based on the Renaissance lute pieces by Simone Molinaro, Vincenzo Galilei, father of Galileo Galilei.
Hell incredible.
Yeah. And additional like composers. And then Suite Number 2 was in 1923. It's based on the first one with the orchestration calls for 2 flutes, 2 oboes, English horn, 2 bassoons, 2 horns in F, trumpet in D, harpsichord. Why can I not say that word?
Beats me.
Harpsichord? That sounds wrong.
A harpsichord.
Harpsichord. And strings. Suite Number 2 was composed in 1923. Based on pieces for lute, the arch lute, viol by Fabrizio Caruso and Jean-Baptiste Bissard, Bernardo Giannocelli, and other composers. And the orchestration for that calls for 3 flutes and like the third doubling like for piccolo, 2 oboes, an English horn. Do you know what an English horn is? It's a mid-range. It's like the middle between an oboe and a bassoon. It's a double reed instrument.
That's cool.
2 clarinets in A or B flat, 2 bassoons, 3 horns in D, which will double in horns in F, 2 trumpets, 3 trombones, 3 timpani, celesta, harpsichord, 4 hands, specifically harp and strings. And then Suite Number 3 was composed in 1931. So it's different from the previous 2 suites because it's just arranged for strings only. And it's more melancholy. So Suite Number 3, specifically Movement 3, Siciliana, is what the theme for this was based off of. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be really fun to listen to another movement from this suite. And we like talk about what we think, and we can. So I have like the the sheet music and the things like ready to go for us to listen to, and we'll like, you know, just like talk about different parts, and like the actual playing with like whatever the music software that I have will include that playing in the episode for our listeners, so they can like kind of listen along.
Hell yeah, that sounds really fun.
So we're going to be listening to specifically Ancient Airs and Dances, Suite Number 3, Italiana, the first movement.
Okay, sweet.
Which it's going to be a quintet of violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, and bass.
Hell yeah. My
Be
comfort
right
zone.
back.
Verb. That ending was just angelic.
Yeah, it really is. It's a really well composed piece.
Yeah.
So the first listen to from this first movement of Suite 3 for Ancient Airs and Dances. What are your thoughts? What kind of dances do you imagine? It does feel very prelude-like to me.
It is very prelude. I'm imagining a very simple waltz, kind of not necessarily low energy, but not super high energy technical, where you can bridge into other dances after this. This is very much this is just the beginning of our vibe type of thing. And
I love, as much as I hate the tenor clef, I love the feature of the viola.
I was going to say that's the thing I think stands out the most to me.
Shout out to Austin Hines specifically.
Shout out to Austin Hines, who hasn't been on this podcast yet, which is
because he hates me.
Against me specifically. That's so funny that we both went in that direction. But
because he already said after we recorded the episode, his favorite musical is Newsies. We've already done that. Grow
Terrible.
up. Pick another
we can
musical.
do a different version. It's fine.
I think you should join for Finian's Rainbow because he's Irish.
Ooh, yeah, and he does love Ireland. We were just talking about that the other day.
Okay, so he'll join for Finian's Rainbow, and he doesn't have a choice.
No, like, I think the thing that struck me truly the most throughout listening to this was like how undervalued the viola is as an instrument. It's such a like. Because for listeners who don't know, the viola effectively is a large, like, it's effectively like an alto violin. Like, it is a violin shaped...
Altos in any form are so underappreciated.
They're so underrated.
Voice, instrument, like...
Everything. Like, so the viola is like a large violin that has the strings of a cello. And I think the benefit that you get from that is that obviously you get the range and like... you can dip into some of the vibes of a cello. Like, I think the beauty of a cello is that it can be jovial or melancholy.
And that's why I love the bassoon.
It's not, I love that. It's not that you can't make a violin melancholy. You can make a violin plenty sad, playing in minor key, playing slow, etc., etc. But it's never going to hit the same lows, the same vibe as a cello. And I think the beauty of a viola is that you get that range, but still the like high brightness, like the volume of a violin kind of in terms of its prominence within the orchestral
prominence is such a good one.
Arrangement. Thank you. And so like, and it really stands out here. Like, this is the piece, like, you rarely hear violas taking precedent in a piece like this, and I love that.
And so the composer for this, especially for this like third suite, is such a deviation from the first two. One, because it's only strings that he recommends, but also for certain like renditions of this, because this is all based off of like also lute music. For this, he does say is like, if you don't have everyone, you can leave off the like contrabass, which I think is interesting, because even though like similar to the tuba, that these first and third like downbeats kind of scaffolding that the instrument provides does add nice, something extra. There's such a hollowness when that's like removed, and I think it's really interesting when composers are like, okay, here's the thing, but you can leave this off and you still get what I'm meaning to tell with this type of music.
Yeah.
And so with this, what kind of dance do you imagine? Also with this being the first of 4 movements of this suite specifically, with the third movement being the Siciliano, what the main theme of this musical is kind of like in reference to.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm talking like I'm losing my voice. I'm just drinking.
I think for me, I imagine a waltz style dance that has a like, you know, the medieval-ish vibe. I'm like historians, I'm not being very specific with my ranges here, but like the medieval-ish dances where they're like, there's a lot of like, for lack of a better phrasing, like hopping back on foot, like hopping back and forth, or like where like you're doing like do do do, like do do do. There's a lot of like eighth notes, like running, like eighth note runs, and this I think would be good for that like sort of pitter patter of like steps.
I'm trying to think,
but
is
in
there
like
a 16th note at all in this piece? Oh, there is some.
There are some, but they're usually
I think
like
literally only for the
ones.
Viola. Like, is there for any other instrument? I don't think, not even a dotted eighth note, which
it's
technically
just the viola.
No, you know, that's dotted chord note in measure 23 for the violin one part. I think that's really interesting then, that the only 16th notes is for the alto voice.
And I did like those runs.
I do like those runs, and like it's really interesting when you have. Okay, so if you have a quintet, quartet, whatever, some ensemble, when you have a section of the piece where it's not necessarily the notes, but the movement is the highlight.
Yeah.
what instruments have that movement. And a lot of times it's like the clarinets or the flutes or the trumpets. But when it's like the French horns or the violas or things like that, there's just like something special that goes on there that like really hits me. So I really like that for this specifically. And it's just I really think it's just the viola that has any semblance of a quicker beat than an eighth note.
Yeah. And I kind of
because they're in that mid-range. They're just they're the middle child.
I agree. And I like that. I like how forward they are. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would change about this, about the orchestration of the piece? I have one thought in mind, which is why I asked the question, but I'm curious if you do.
Ooh, at the very end note, I don't like how the viola just is like not a part of that. I do think there's should be different things in regards to, what's the word for it? I want to say tonguing, but that's a wind instrument term.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of slurs and legatos. I think there's some more texture that could be done. Specifically when it's like measures like 27 onward, like through the end of the repeat before measure 35. I think there should... I think it does a really good job with dynamics, but I think some of the accents could be better.
Yeah, for sure.
To drive the music more, but also I think this piece does a really good job when everything all cuts out and goes to piano, pianissimo, and then at mezzo forte, comparatively, the viola is like really shining. But I think there's some textural things that could be done differently.
Or maybe like adding in, there's a lot of staccato on the contrabass line, maybe adding in more staccato on some of those beats to kind of hit some more of that emphasis that you were talking about.
But not for the cello or the viola, but some of the violin parts, because I really like when music and like this kind of orchestration and just like symphonic or symphony or orchestra music, where it's not like, oh, here are the high instruments doing the same thing, here are the low instruments doing the same thing. But it's like, here's some mid-range stuff doing some stuff, and there's some connection between the higher stuff and the lower stuff. I think that's fun.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
Like, there's this, like, one piece, again, like, I talked to Raven about this earlier. We are recording this episode on January 23rd, 2026, which feels like a fake year,
right?
On Friday. And this past Tuesday, I had my first, like, rehearsal back for the Ithaca concert band since our holiday concert. And we're playing a lot of, there's, like, one concert we're doing where we're playing with like an elementary/middle school band to join us. We're playing very simple music, but there's this like one piece, shout out One Piece, the pirate anime.
Hell yeah.
What's the song called? Italian Rhapsody by Julie Giro. That's so fucking fun. It has like all these, like a lot of the stuff that we talked about during the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio episode.
Yeah.
So the Sicilian music, the tarantellas, like it has like all of it, just like these different parts of Italy, like the classical music of which, like specifically for the tarantella, like very much Godfather, like but
I
for
love that tarantella piece. I love playing
it. It's so fun, and we sight read it, and it was just so fun to play. That it's just like the texture of that music, where there's these different sections combining where they normally wouldn't for like a very simple classic concert band that I just really enjoy.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think for me, the one thing that I would change of this piece is I would swap the violoncello and maybe the violin 1 part. I was going to say the violin 2 part, but the violin 2 part gets higher for longer than the violin 1 part does.
Is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I think
might
it'll
just
be
be the
harder
specific
to
arranger for
transpose
this.
a bit. That's true, but I like, kind of like what you were saying. I like when low and high parts play like more in concert with each other, and I also would want more prominence on, like, I love those like eighth notes that the cello does, and I want those more prominent in the music, which I feel like having them on such a low register.
Dynamic change.
Yeah, well, potentially a dynamic change, but I think just like having it like on such a low register, at least for me, like it doesn't register as highly in terms of like how much my ear is picking it up relative to everything else. It becomes more of like a background harmony where I want it a little more prominent against the viola. What?
Where specifically? Because I can change the dynamics in the sheet music and we can listen to it again.
Ooh, I was gonna say, honestly in the beginning, they're all piano in the beginning part, but like, and like 7, like that first, the first repeat for 7, and like when you're coming out of those repeats, like that, those eighth note runs, and then where else was there that I really liked it? All of the, so like 37 to the end, or really the repeat, like that 35 to the end, I was like, I would think it would be really cool to hear that in like a higher register relative to everything else, if that makes sense.
Let me change this to mezzo forte.
Mezzo forte we could maybe do like mezzo piano?
I think mezzo forte. Let's make it a stark contrast.
Okay. So we're starting at 25? Okay.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
I really like how it offsets the melody. Yeah. And like those runs, like right there, 44 and 45, that like run against the long held note. Yeah, there's something about the combination of like eighth notes against like a quarter note palette, or like a dotted half note and a quarter note, like something like that, like that rhythmic harmony is the best way I can think of it. Like there's probably an actual musical term for it that I can't think of right now, but like when you're just having those eighth notes play against that like
counter
half note and yes, counter melody. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, like I love that so much. And it's so funny, we've done counter melody on this show before.
So many times. But yeah, that's that song. Because I just thought that would be like a fun way to include music more without us playing, without like the, that kind of stuff, but like still be able to talk about. Like,
and I like that. I like, because we've talked about that for a potential happy hour special, like going really in depth on a particular piece of music. And this was a fun little like dipping our toe into that. I like that. That was fun. So,
and
Campbell.
Now, we have reached into the podcast.
Indeed, we have.
First question for you. How would you rate all the Barbie movies? And then what is the rating you would give this Barbie film?
So the problem is I don't remember what I rated Diamond Castle with.
No. You don't have to give the specific ratings for those, but just tell me what the like comparative ratings for all of those, like 1, 2, 3, and then what would you rate this musical on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, because I told you.
Shut up.
And it's fine
so
with
it's
this
hard.
dead
It's
time
hard because
we'll edit it out.
I'm like now directly comparing Princess and the Pauper. So like Diamond Castle comes first. That's a given. I'm directly comparing now Princess and the Pauper and this, and like there's a part of me that's like that sees what you meant by saying those other two come first, but I also am stubborn enough that I'm like, but I refuse to give you the win.
It's not a win though if you just genuinely believe it. Sometimes we can't agree on something.
Hush. But the indebted slavery is always going to be a sticking point for me.
Not the indentured servitude of it all.
No, see, I almost referred to it as indentured servitude earlier, and I think that's what we called it on the episode.
See, which is really funny because I felt that vibe from you. That's why I said those like that verbiage right now.
It feels worse than indentured servitude.
I think we're too close to each other as people. That I was able to vibe from your energy that you would have used the term indentured servitude to talk about a Barbie movie.
Listen, I think I'm going to give Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, I literally almost called it Barbie and the Magic Castle, because that's really what it is. But Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, I think I'm going to give it the edge out over Prince of the Pauper just for the indentured servitude.
But you're more of a dancer.
I am more. I genuinely enjoyed this. I think honestly though, the thing that gets me over the edge is like I truly love the relationship between. Keep
it in your pants.
I truly love the relationship between all the sisters. Like
that is nice.
There is like such a short movie
personality in an hour and 20-minute movie.
Like for such a short movie, they do manage to fit in a lot constantly. Of like. They do manage to fit in a lot of like genuine sibling moments, and like you see the like. I love movies where like sisters actually love each other, because like it's so weird to me reading stories where like sisters like hate each other or are super mean to each other or like bully each other, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like me and my sisters had our fair share of issues like all siblings do, but like I genuinely love my sisters and I love seeing those relationships and seeing such a tight bond there, and I think it really got to me. I just think I really like it because of that. So I'll say Diamond Castle 1, this is 2, and then Prince of the Pauper, which is a close third, but I'll put it in third. And then my rating for this specifically, I do not remember what I rated those other ones, so listeners take this with a grain of salt. I think I'll give it a 6. 5? 5. Because it's not great. It's not an amazing movie. It's a fine kids movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I really enjoy it, so I'll give it a 5.
So I'd go the Barbie and the Diamond Castle, obvious one.
Yeah.
Prince and the Pauper 2, this movie the 3. And honestly, I'd give this a 6 out of 10.
Interesting. I saw you giving this like a 4.
I think it was good.
That's fair.
I really appreciate it. So this isn't like, because we've talked about, hey, it would be really cool to do like ballets or operas and stuff. Well, those are like opposite of each other.
Some that we have on the list for
dancing,
the season.
Whatever. So I think this was a really fun decision on my part to do something that's like less singing and more dancing.
Yeah. And we've talked, at least I have, about how much I love ballets in musicals anyway.
That's why I chose this one specifically as opposed to like some of the mermaid ones and Pegasus.
Yeah. I do like the mermaid one though.
There is one that like Brie Larson was like Pegasus or something like that. That's I consider doing that one. I don't know. So I rate this 3rd out of them, but I would give this a 6 out of 10.
Valid. Hell yeah.
But now we reached the end of the podcast, and listeners, if you want to, share the good word, as it were,
indeed,
with other people, you can find us wherever podcasts are found. And if you have any kind of recommendations, both musical, cocktails, just like general vibe, Raven's vibe, normally off. If you have critiques about that, you can email us at boozicles@gmail.com.
My vibe is exactly me at all times.
@gmail.com. I am speaking. Or DM us at Instagram, not Instagram, at Boozicles, and let us know what you think. And when you do so and listening to us, go ahead and give us a rating. Because, if you rate us well, some of our nonprofit ads gets into other people, and people donate to good causes. And so if you don't rate us well, I guess you don't want kids learning music.
And
I guess you're a bad person.
You're just a bad person.
Yeah.
And with that, we shall bid you adieu.
I hate how you try to do something different every time, but it's normally the same. But you think it's going to be different.
Yeah. It's the inflection. You just gotta give a little oomph.
But it's the same inflection each time. Cheer us out, Campbell. It's the same. It's different each time.
It's
the same each time.
This is the first episode this season that I'm well and truly drunk. And it's so fitting.